Anikulakbo. Oh my God, right here on the couch, we have two amazing people. First, we have Nigerian actor, producer, and director Kunle Afolayan. He is credited for elevating the quality of Nollywood movies through larger budgets, shooting on 35mm, releasing in cinemas, and improving cliche Nollywood storylines. And some of his directing credits include the Anikulakbo franchise, The Figurine, Phone Swap, October 1st, Citation. He's also the CEO of Golden Effects Pictures, a Nigerian film and production company incorporated in 2005. He also is also the producer for The Recall, which is currently in the cinemas right now. We also have with us on the couch Ewoma Luthur. She is the host of Kingdom Film Festival that celebrates and pushes the Christian narrative in the marketplace. With over 280 million viewers and more than 17 million social media followers, The Chosen is one of the most watched series in the world. Shots in cinematic formats and so far featuring Holy Week, the most pivotal week in history, The Chosen, Last Supper Part 1. This movie, or this series, Chosen, has been, you know, I mean, Titi brought my attention to it over the weekend, and I binged on it, and I'm still binging on it.
You deserve an award for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But it's such a pleasure to have you, and of course, Kunle right here with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And quickly, Kunle, thanks for just being with us once again. Last year, or early in the year, right, you were, they were quite, you know, you were quite notable. Well, you've been notable, but then you're always notable, right? But then you brought to our attention, because, I mean, you have been known to partner or collaborate with Netflix on, you know, some of your movie projects. And then, you know, you also brought to the fore, you brought our attention to, you brought to that collaboration, not just you, but other filmmakers as well, to our attention, you know, how that collaboration has benefited a lot of filmmakers and what we need to do in also expanding local production on distribution right here in Nigeria with our films. Now let's talk about the cinema culture, being that your movie, Recall, is currently in the cinema. In a time where the cinema culture is vastly evading us based on speculations, why would you think to want to put your movie, Recall, in the cinema?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. But see, traditionally, films and cinema are like in sync. You can't separate it.
Right.
And when people say film, the first thing that comes to your head is cinema. You know, and of course there are now new media and new formats, you know, where people get to watch film.
Right.
But traditionally, what you get when you go to a cinema to watch film with other people, you know, the feel is completely different.
Right.
You know, and in Nigeria, we've managed to grow the numbers of the cinemas that we have compared to what it was like 5 years ago.
Right.
And I think people are still building more. So I think it will be, I mean, it's no brainer, you know, to still, you know, want to try and explore that space.
Okay.
Right now, it's even more, I mean, with the new development around the streamers cutting down numbers, you know, of what they do. A lot of our films, a lot of Nigerian films are now the first place they want to go is cinema.
Right.
I think it's good. I think it's great. The infrastructure will keep developing, and then maybe people will get back into that culture of that communal gathering. But then streaming is not going anywhere. You know,
it's here to stay.
It's here to stay. But there has to be. I think we should just try and create a sort of balance.
Okay.
And that is why we thought Recall. I mean, Recall is there, and several other Nigerian films are there.
Right.
But for us, because we haven't done cinema in a while, this means a great, you know, I mean, a big deal to us.
Yeah.
And that is why we think people should go out. Recall, like any Kunle Afolayan, is like a figurine. It's not a film you watch and then you forget. You want to see it and, you know, digest it and all of that.
Yeah.
All right. That is brilliant. I mean, I can't wait to see that one. But let's also talk about, since we're talking about the cinema now, let's talk about Chosen. Now, we have, for the first time in Nigeria, we had Chosen come all the way here and then premiere the new episodes. That is huge.
You know, as Mr. Kunle was just speaking about the cinema culture and having the streaming platforms, we need to find that marriage. And so breaking it down to The Chosen. So The Chosen, like we all know, you can get to watch it on the Chosen app. And currently season 1 to 4 is streaming on Amazon. But there's just something about coming to the cinema. Like the cinema culture is a whole new, is a vibe on another level. Which is why for the first time in the West African territory, The Chosen, leaving the international borders, came down to Nigeria and also Ghana.
Ghana.
And you know, for the first time, they're having their theatrical experience in the Nigerian cinema. And so just to add to what Kunle has said over here, is the fact that, so it's still on the streaming platform, but we also want people to experience what it means to watch the story about this man called Jesus on the bigger screen. Like I was saying to you before we came up, there is a lifestyle that we have. There is a message that we have, and we should not be ashamed to proclaim that lifestyle in an excellent manner, which is what The Chosen is doing with their entry into the market in Nigeria.
That is brilliant. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Kunle, I'm going to talk a little bit about the controversy right now that that's spun between actors and filmmakers when it comes to PR and marketing for their movies. Sometime last week we had Jemima Osunde. She came forward and she talked about how filmmakers are making actors having to dance to promote their movies. Then also yesterday, a veteran actress, I can't really remember her name right now, also, you know, affirmed the same thing. Well, when it comes to PR and marketing for your movie, especially Anikulapo, which was, you know, one of the highest grossing movies of all time at, you know, at some point, what does it entail? Must every actor be used to market and promote their movies?
Okay, see, the thing is, marketing is key.
But
there are several, you know, strategies and strategic ways of doing marketing. Traditionally, this dancing we're doing now, that is what our fathers used to do in those days. You know, when they want to have a stage play, they will climb on the lorry and paint their faces and have drums, and they beat drums around the entire town. Now, see, it's becoming a bit toxic because it's like competition, right? And everybody feels, you know, maybe not until you wear different costumes and you dance, and, you know. So we've lost that, you know, the essence of why a film is seen, appreciated, and reviewed. Now it's more about the more promo you give to the film, you know, that is what gets it to trend, and that is why people will want to go to cinema. We put Recall out there, and, you know, I was talking to Cinemax because they are the distributor, and I'm like, how do we promote this film? Because I cannot dance. I'm tired, you know, and I'm not going to get my actors.
That would trend now. That would trend.
Yeah, but look, come on. No, look, I have no problem with people dancing. Look, you have to use what you have, you know, to get what you want, to promote the film. It's part of, we're artists. We're theater people, and it's part of theater. But then, should that be the only way, you know, to get people to see the film? Is that the only way to get people to, even after seeing the film, talk about it? You know, so I think we have to start thinking of other ways, you know, to really promote.
So just to add to what you're saying,
exhausting.
You really, I do believe that for PR and marketing, there are massive ways we can go about it. But the thing about the Nigerian culture is, once something works out, everybody wants to go that pathway, and which in itself can be a bit exhausting.
Would you say that, so for example, you did your premiere, would you say, what was the strategy you guys used in, you know, for promoting the movie, the series Chosen?
So what we did essentially was that we had like what we call the church tour. So we went to major churches like House on the Rock, Fountain of Life, and we got those endorsements from the pastors. And aside that, we did like live IGs and then promotional giveaways and all of that. But essentially right now, another thing is communal building. So we're having more words of mouth and building communities and engaging them to go to the cinema to see it. Not necessarily that you have to dance and all of that to promote what you are doing. So creatively, you can send out like newsletters. You can also use merchandising to promote your movie. You can also use word of mouth, and you can do meet and greet, which I do know still happen in other cinemas, where you get like your celebrities to go and just post and say, was showing this at the cinema.
All right.
So speaking of promotion, I'm just thinking here, you decided to promote more Christian movies, and you started a festival. A festival where you celebrate Christian movies every year when you have thousands of people sending in their movies. I'm just wondering, why Kingdom Films? Why Kingdom Movies?
All right. Thank you so much, Edgar, for that question. Like, I was just greeting Kunle when he came in. Some years back, we distributed his content, the CEO, and so I've been like in the distribution field. But I also noticed that there was a niche that was missing. And I do believe that the creative space should have inclusiveness and diversity. And so once I observed that this niche was just missing out, we now started what is known as the Kingdom Film Festival. This year makes it our 4th edition. And initially people were like, are you sure people are going to buy into this? But I will tell you right now, one of our biggest supporters are like people, we've had the different distributors like Ebony Life, Silverbird supporting what we are doing. And I was even telling him that this year his academy also needs to come on board. And so in the last 4 years, we've been engaging the Christian filmmakers community and saying, guys, you need to go beyond the 4 walls of the church. You have a good message, you have value. So why not bring it to the forefront? And so, for example, last year, we had over 2,000 entries from all over the world that submitted their movies. And then we had winners. We have like 2 categories. There's the short films, and there's also the smartphone films. And why are we doing the smartphone films? To make films, Kunle would know, it's very expensive. You know, but how do you encourage the next generation and create that sustainability in the ecosystem? So we have the short films and films made with the smartphones, and we've had winners emerging and then collaborating with films.
I also wanted to just find out about the film resorts. I heard that
KAP.
you're starting something huge, something big. Please tell us, because this is interesting as well.
Well, okay, so it's KAP Film Village, KAP Film Village and Resort, and KAP, of course, means Kunle Afolayan Productions. And this is a journey we've embarked on like 4 years ago. That is the same space where we shot Anikulapo, the first one, which was what actually took us there. We shot the film, and we thought, look, this cannot be a one-off thing, because it's such a serene environment, you know. And but then when we shot Anikulapo, we didn't have accommodation. We were squatting and living in like small houses and managed to make the film. So after then, I thought, look, I think we should make this a bigger thing. And you know, fast forward right now, we shot Ijogbon there. We shot Rise of the Spectre, which is the Anikulapo series. And we've just shot season 2 and 3 of Anikulapo. But to add to that, we now have like 85 rooms accommodation. You know, so it's a full-fledged resort. And we've been having people come in and out, you know, people, you know, come do getaways. We have companies that have been doing their retreats there. But we have not officially like opened. And that is happening on Saturday.
Wow,
congratulations. This Saturday, yeah.
That is beautiful.
And it's in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy, and also Oyo State Government, because it's in Oyo, in Iboja, in Oyo State. And this Saturday we're going to have, it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, for me, it's open to filmmakers, you know, who might want to also come and film, do
for
music
free.
Video. As a matter of fact, you know why it cannot be for free? We've been running for like 4 years, and we've been running on diesel and generator. We don't have electricity, and that is killing us right now. But look, for me, I don't like to just whine and complain. I like to provide solution. And I believe when people come and they see the value, there will be a lot of interest and all of that.
How about those people who want to register for the festival? How do they get to register?
Okay, so you can,
so they can submit their short films.
So the festival will be taking place November 27th and 28th, and so you can visit www.kingdomfilmfestivals.com to register. You can also follow us on social media at Kingdom Film Festival, and you can just click on the link in the bio to register. Like I did say, Nigeria, you mustn't come last. Last year we had American topping the entry. So this year, go and submit your short films, your smartphone films, and there will be prizes to be won this year. Scholarship from different film institutions in Nigeria, including that of Mr. Kunle sitting over here. And then if you want to collaborate with us, also send us a DM at kingdom.filmfestival.com.
Definitely my short film, I think I will probably just put
Please, Rob, please send it in.
What happened to the one behind the tree?
That's
At
the
Film?
All right, please.
Please, thank you so much
much
for doing this with us. Our chef Tiflo has made something sumptuous for breakfast.
Yes.
Kindly join us in the kitchen, shall we?
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That's
let's go.
amazing.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Wake Up Village.